What's up, everyone? And we're going to be taking a look at arrays in Python today. So let's create a new file for this. I'm going to right click right here and then go to new and then create a new file right here. So let's go ahead and just call this arrays.py right there. Okay, so we'll have that right here, arrays.py. And I know that quite a lot of people argue with if we really have arrays in Python or not. Okay, but we do have. Okay, even though if you want to make use of arrays in Python, that just has to come with that just has to come from something like a module. Okay, so you cannot just directly make use of it just like we normally do on other programming languages. Okay, so with Python, this is actually built into the modules. Okay, and if you don't know what arrays are in Python, I want to give you the definition right now. And Python arrays are provided by the array module, and you use them when you need to actually store elements of the same type efficiently. Okay, so if you want to make sure that you store elements of the same type and you want to have them efficiently stored, you make use of arrays to do that. Okay, so without wasting more time, we want to start typing or writing out the code that we want to make use of right now. And the first thing, of course, that we need to do right now, since we say that it's actually you have to get that from the module. You basically need to like import the module first of all before you can actually make use of it. Okay, so to import something into this place right now, or to import the arrays, the array module right here, you can actually use the keyword called the import, and you can just say array as arr right here. Okay, all right, so that's just that. So let me just a little bit to explain this. Just basically, this is a keyword that we are going to use to actually import this particular module called array right here, and then we'll have a keyword called as that we're going to just basically begin to use arr just in form of aliases. Anytime you make use of as keyword, the next word is actually an alias. Okay, so it means that we can actually reference to the array module throughout our code with this particular word right here. Okay, so I have seen people actually use something like a. Okay, so just depending on the naming convention of what you're actually doing, you can actually use this to actually be anything. Okay, if you use something like a, that means by the time you'll be referencing to this particular module called array within your code, you're going to be making use of this. Okay, but I just basically want to use arr right there. Okay, I've even seen people that don't even use this. You can just simply say something like import array like this. You just take everything that is actually here away, but then you're going to be making use of the full name, the full module, okay, to be able to reference to whatever you want to do within your code. Okay, but I just found this to be a lot quicker and then shorter as our code actually grows. Okay, that's why I'm making use of this particular thing. Okay, but just feel free to change it to something like a if you want to use a as an array. But I think that if I do that arr, it makes more sense for me. Okay, so that's just what that is. So down here, what I want to do first of all is to go ahead. I'm going to create a variable that I'm going to just call temperatures like that, and I want to go ahead and then set it to the following. So we're going to make use of that particular alias that we just created called arr like that, and then I'm going to do dots array, okay, like this. So if you use something like a right here, okay, you're going to basically go ahead and then make use of a right here. You're going to just say a dot. So whatever you use here, you may need to make use of that right here as an alias, right? So that just makes basically that. So, and I hope you understand that. So I'm going to return this to what it is right now, and then we'll have that to be an array. Then we'll throw in our what is it called, our bracket right here, and we can actually go ahead within this bracket. First of all, I want to work with something like integers right now, and for that reason I'm going to add something like I right here, and this is just a type code. Okay, this is just a type code. If you are basically going to be working with something like that of the float, this place would actually be something like f. Okay, so we do have some other type code that you can actually use when you're working with arrays. Okay, so you can do a quick research on that to be able to find all of them. Okay, so this is just for sign their float or unsign their float. So as for me, I'm going to make use of I because I want to work with integers. Okay, so if I do that right now, we can just basically introduce a comma right here and then throw in our square bracket right here, which is basically we want to begin to list all the, what is it called, all the integers we want to make use of. So we're going to make use of 30. I'm going to introduce a comma, and then we're going to make use of 32 comma, and we're also going to make use of 28 right there, and I also want to add something like 35, and then finally we're going to make use of something like 31 right here. Okay, so basically this is just the initializer right here, but this one is the type code. Okay, so just what that is. So on the next line right here, What I want to do right now is, if I basically want to access any of the elements that we have above here, the way to do that is really not hard at all. Okay, so let me just put a comment in here and just say access. Let's just make sure we put this, let's shift a little bit down. You just say access an element up there, okay, or access an array, whatever you want to actually call that, okay, the item of an array. And to do that is very, very simple. We're going to just say print, and within the print we're going to throw in our variable called the temperatures. So let's do temperatures right here, and just like the original thing concerning that of the arrays, okay, so this, the counting starts from 0 right here. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and the numbering actually continues like that. Okay, so I'm going to throw in my square bracket right here and then go ahead and enter 0 right here. And what that means is that I'm actually going to get hold on this particular value right here, which is actually called a 30, and I'm going to print that on the screen for myself. Okay, so if I save the changes right here and I want to right click on this, and then if I go to run arrays right now, if you take a look down here, you see that we'll have 30 printed for us right here. Okay, so the same thing applies to any number that you want to actually access right here. So if I put something like 3 right there and then save the changes, then if I click on run right here, you see that we get 35 right here. And this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3 right there. Okay, so the same thing applies to the other things that you would like to actually access. So you follow that same format and then to access all other elements. Okay, so we also have a way of modifying elements. So I'm going to put a comment here and just say something like modifying. Let's just make sure I type that correctly. This is just basically a comment. Even if I did not actually get that correctly, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm going to basically to modify an element right now. I'm going to copy this. I just need that temperature variable right here. And what I want to modify right now, let's say I want to modify the first one right here, which is in position. That's basically the second one, because this one is actually 0 and then this is 1. I want to modify 32 to a different value right now. We can just reference to that with 1 and then set that to be equal to, let's say this is going to be 3. Okay, so that's just basically what we have now. So if I want to print the result right now, I'm going to copy this and then down here, paste that, and I want to take away this right here. So I'm basically going to print out this this particular array right here. Okay, so if I print this temperatures array, I want to basically have everything that we'll have in here right now with the modification of this value right here. So you wouldn't actually see a 33 in the result. What you are going to actually see occupy this position is basically going to be that of the 33. So let's save the changes, guys, and then if we run that again, and then we'll take a look down here, we're going to see that we'll have 30 and we'll have 33 instead of 32 right there, and then we'll have 28, we'll have 35, and then we'll have 31. Okay, so that's just how you can actually modify the element if you want to, and then grab the results on the screen for yourself. And I remember what I said about this is just because I'm working with that of the what is it called, that of the integers. That's why I added this. So if you were working with floats, you can actually go ahead and enter something like f right here. Okay, so if I enter f, that means that I'm going to be working with float right here. So I can do something like 1.0002, and I'm going to just do 0.555, and this is just going to be 25.77, just basically things of that nature, guys. So this is float, guys. This is just basically float, and so I'm just basically working with float like right now. And now I have this right here, which is f. There will be no need of this. I'm going to just basically comment this out for now, but if you want to like modify it, you can also do that. Let me modify that, so this can be 3.3, and you can add maybe 000 like that, and then save the changes. So if we run these right now, you see that we still have our result right there, but now it's actually printing those out as float. Okay, you see how the values are. So that's just basically how that is, guys. So we work with a float. If you want to efficiently handle your code, handle your values like your integer, your float integer, or just basically any type of data type, you just basically need to specify it right here if you want that to be efficient. You can actually access or do whatever you want to do without just specifying the type of values that you want. But if you want it to basically be very efficient, you need to specify what type of values or what type of a data type you expect to make use of. So that is it in this video, and I hope that you guys understand this. And if you love the video, just give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't actually subscribed. and thanks for watching. Then I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now. And remember that we're still just basically working on data structures. So the next one, we're going to advance the data structure to something like stack and that of the queues.